So let's discuss the Thugee. Before, I must preface with proper definitions of the international definition of autism. Here in America, autism is Down syndrome. Autism Speaks, being for a parent of Down syndrome, if out of wedlock, an option for euthanization. However, if federal sperm theft, particularly a Cunard's disorder, a sock, graven with leaven whites from fabric of cotton, an old slave maker's technique from the African west of Dahomey, a capital charge for the woman federal execution, as well as accessories now being prohibited, however hunted professionally by FBI informants, such as myself. Canada, a high intelligence quotient not fitting with commodities and laws across the borders. The well springs of little green men having torched to cinders everything north of the third circumferal. Tragedy. Meanwhile, we have Israel. An IDF, Israeli Defense Forces, draft to Mossad from a young age. Comcast withholding, you Lutheran crazies. Anti-Semite Goyim in service to the Jews. I know you have a reason, Lutherans. You want this. A false wedding to impress your father. Experimented on these children with medication to enhance combat stamina. But we also have India, the riddle. India works on the system of Sikhhood, traditionally called a Down syndrome, or alternately in Mormon Mycenaean culture, the origin of the Jews prior to Isaac. All things in the Bible and Talmud being lies to track. A Heracles, a joker, or a Cartman, a Jewish doctor of the yarmulke. Flat top, I have the round. Native can't get in. I have, of course, planted 3 series upon you, Psychic Cartman, for the Black Dominatrix of the Royal. The Coon, outing the Psychic Doctor, falsely, of course, the Jew, as Batman, your Jewish psychiatrist, the slayer of your mother, Batman, Joe Chill, the guidance counselor many times, and, of course, Happy Native American Peoples Day, offending the entire United States populace. But let's move back to the Hindu riddle. A master is a Sikh within thousands to tens of millions of trademarks and ciphers upon society, running constable offices, the police, and the cyber warfare, aerial intelligence, infantry, and nuclear weapons or power grids. That's a Buddhist master, the latter 3 forms, and the Buddhist constable, non-meditating, the former. The Grandmaster, your common definition of autism, being a specialist at artistic kills, trapping upon contingency of the potential social predator through rewrite of a common fiction used by a socialite, a false wealthy, a playboy, a spy of wealth, a grantor, or a debonair, a fake spy, whatever. You're looking at the real thing, baby. A counter-intel saboteur recruited out of cop, intel, civilian, or perhaps priestly or management stock. That hideous strength. I didn't read it. The priest told me to. You're dealing with the Vatican now. Free agent, of course. So, we have our Sikh medicated never on Down syndrome meds, but yours have to medicate. Pakistan inducted years ago in Saudi Arabia for the attacks of 9/11. You had a single Down syndrome non-medicated, didn't you, New York? Didn't you? That's for them. Down syndrome is racist. So, you have a perfect series of traps and quarrels. Medicated, of course, with Autism Speaks meds through the secretive Chinese program of the Dalai Lama. The Sauds, Chinese, Indians, and perhaps some regions of Oceania, such as Malaysia, Indochina, and Indonesia. Nothing says it's a competition of letters that's Jewish. Marks. A national border removed for competition between firm instead of country, also Jewish. So the Caucasus kids are American standbys. You are super soldiers. Don't listen to the German Talmud, their term for their religion. They operate as a mass conjoined group fearing their father's or their mother's fate. I represent something much more. I am a Grandmaster inducted in Bali Naga women's severance. Man's severance typically reserved for a narcissist, women's for a spy. Transmitted to the Bolivarian Union some years ago in 2004 on a Mossad poker debt. Hugo Chavez, we always believed. Brazil, too. And if I hear you calling yourself a Caucasian for being a Jew blended with Hispanic, my blood, I'll reject thee. A Caucasian is a Caucasus, Scythian, and Irish. And if you want to be a kike and get in, not a Jew by slur, but a Scythian by faith. Just take a food item off the shelf and give it to the tavern.